What's up, nerds? It's Thursday. It is 8 o'clock in the morning on the 31st day of August. In the year 2023, it is 64 degrees and hazy here at Site B, and I am your Thursday guide to all the tabletop role-playing game news, weather, and general internet drama that is the OGGM. It's Dagger Heartbeats. That's right. Thanks again to my guy, friend, subscriber who gave me the name Dagger Heartbeats. Unfortunately, I don't remember which one of you it was, but I know one of my subscribers gave me the name. So thank you, sir. Please let me know which one of you it was so I can give you the credit. Dagger Heartbeats, our weekly deep dive into any new news from our friends over at Critical Role, how Critical Role numbers are doing, what's going on with them and the Tal'Dorei thing, and of course, the single most important question, what's going on with Illuminated Worlds / Candela Obscura, and what is going on with Dagger to the Heart. Do we have any new news since last week? Well, first, let's check the numbers. All right, according to Twitch, since the last time we checked, which was, last time they updated the Twitch page was 7 days ago with Critical Role Campaign 3, Episode 70, having 267K views. Yipes. Then we got, where'd it go? I lost it. I'm sorry. According to YouTube, the last time we checked, we got Mitt's Shelter Season 2, Episode 1. That had 35K views. We've got a available now Queens by Midnight infomercial that lasted 1 minute and 31 seconds that has 54K views. We've got Campaign 3, Episode 70, running almost 5 hours with 298K views. And we have Mitt's Ascendancy Season 2, Episode 2 with 13K views. So for a almost 5-hour run with almost 300K views, that's good. That's more reasonable numbers for them. More interestingly, they did a interview on Wired. The interview was 2 days ago. And they talked, it was about an hour and a half long. It had all of them except for Ashley answering general, Wired questions. Where does Matthew Mercer buy his vest? What does Marisha Ray's tattoo mean? Is Sam Riegel married? The Wired things that they always ask. Usually it's people that are in a movie or something. I'm not sure why that was Critical Role, unless they've got something coming up besides the normal stuff. I mean, they've got the Mighty Nine reunion thing, but I mean, other than that, they've all got their independent projects. So, not sure of the timing. Sadly, they didn't really talk about Campaign 3's plans or Campaign 4 or any of the things people like us are interested in, but for general fans of the show or general people who are just like, who is this guy? Who are these people? It was general, comfortable, happy, fun, harmless questions. Where are you from? How old are you? Where did you grow up? What does that tattoo mean? That's available on Wired on YouTube. I posted the link down below. It had 991K views and rising. Okay, let's go for the big one. Anything new on the Darrington Press website about Daggerheart? Nope. What about Candela Obscura? Nope. What about Illuminated Worlds? It's not even mentioned in the Illuminated Worlds anymore. Okay. How about an explanation for what's going on with Tal'Dorei? Nope. Okay. No. Okay. What about this? What's this? All right. So the tentative answer for the Tal'Dorei Reborn being on D&D Beyond is leaning more and more towards my answer as opposed to the other answer. So right now we were 50% the fact that Tal'Dorei Reborn was on D&D Beyond as of last week, and they had their whole new section of partner content that was never on D&D Beyond before, except every single one of them was on D&D Beyond before. They just moved them. So 50% of the pro Critical Role staying with Wizards of the Coast people are the fact that Tal'Dorei Reborn was on D&D Beyond, even though Wizards of the Coast didn't produce it, shows that Critical Role plans to stay loyal to Wizards of the Coast, and Campaign 4 will be using D&D 6e. The other percentage, the side of the fence I'm on, thinks that, well, they still had a contract. They had to fulfill. They had to give them the final product that they had agreed to give them. The fact that Tal'Dorei Reborn, even though Wizards of the Coast didn't make it, still uses classic D&D stats like armor class, hit points, all that stuff. By them giving it to Wizards of the Coast to put D&D Beyond, they were saying, okay, we fulfilled the contract. We're done. This is the last thing we're going to do with D&D. So about 60, we're about 50-50, 60-40, depending upon who you ask, whether, what it meant. Well, we have a little insight from people who know more about the stuff that I do, that it was them fulfilling the contract. Now the contract has been fulfilled. They have ended all their requirements and their responsibilities with Wizards of the Coast by giving them Tal'Dorei Reborn to be put on D&D Beyond. So going forward, they either have to sign a brand new contract with Wizards of the Coast, which, still could happen, but 60% right now, it seems to feel more like whatever they're going to do next is going to be 100% controlled by them, starting with Kendall Obscura and then moving on to Dagger to the Heart will be their answer to D&D. So that's where things are going now. I did find this page. It is called Daggerheart.org. It contains a lot of information. I don't know how much of it is accurate because it does not seem to be official. It just seems to be news. So it's got a whole bunch of weird looking stuff. I don't know who it's by. It just says website by Dane. It's got this fantasy picture village. It's got some fantasy art. It's got different video links. We've got the link to the Polygon article, which we already went over. We've got the link to the Game is Hard article by Annabella Stephenson. Was she there? I don't know, or is she just looking? Some people are reviewing the reviews. We know that Bob Worldbuilder did a 20-minute review of Daggerheart where he was basically just going over stuff that he read in the other reviews. And this one also looks like she's just reviewing the reviews. Were you there during the playtest, Annabelle? Or are you just reviewing the reviews? The fact that you don't have any pictures makes me think that you're just reviewing the reviews. But who knows? Also, I've never heard of Game is Hard. Is that a new page? And it seems to be mostly all about Fortnite. So, and then we've got this thing called D&D Killer Critter Talk, which is after. Who is this from? This is from D&D Killer Critter Talk. We've got a guy saying he was the Daggerheart GM and he had to sign an NDA. Yeah. I don't know. I didn't watch. Have we watched this one yet? Or is it just more of the same? Does anybody ever been to this Critter Talk page before? Okay. And then this page seems to have the rules. So we've got creating a character, combat, health and deaths, adventuring, And then we've got references on the classes, domains, heritage, communities, traits, and the domain cards, and some of the items. So this is one of the example characters, I guess. And then we have some images. These images we've already seen. It's the character record sheet. And that's it. And other than that, yeah. So this page is up. It is at daggerheart.org. There's no mention whether it is officially connected with Wizard them or not. So we've got here's what we've known so far. So we've got choose a class. The classes seem to be Wizard, Sorcerer, Bard, Rogue, Ranger, Druid, Fighter, Seraph, Warrior, and Garden. There will be around 9 to 10 classes at launch. And there will be apparently rules to multi-class. I don't know if I want 10 classes. That's already... that's a no for me. I would have liked to actually seen less classes and more ways to individualize the classes than just have 10 classes. Really, I mean, come on. The core 4 is really all you ever need, and just ways to make the core variations to the core 4. Choose a foundation, which are like subclasses. Do we have any examples of this foundations? No. Then you choose your two domain cards. So you start the game with 2 domain cards. You get more domain cards as you level up. You can switch out in between games during the long rest period what cards you have access to, but at the most you're only supposedly ever going to have access to 5. So that your max level character has only got 5 things in their utility belt that they can use, and then if they want to switch them out, they have to take a rest. But also, of course, artifacts and items and things like that add extra cards and stuff like that. I'm on the shelf about the card system because it just feels gimmicky, and it just feels like it's another thing that I could risk to lose, and it just feels like it's another way to overcomplicate the character record sheet. And so far, history has shown us that card-based mechanics don't work because inevitably you're still turning to look at the actual rules in the book. But from a merchandising Critical Role fan Etsy point of view, it's freaking brilliant because you can make hand over fist free money off of just selling those individual specialized card sets and then giving the rights to the Etsy creators so they can make their special individualized card sets. And just, it's like, yeah, look at me. This is my filter gas themed Etsy card deck of cards for Dagger to the Heart, and it's all blue and purple and pink, Fildergrass's colors, and buy it on Etsy for $15. And yeah. So yeah, the merchandising there is just brilliant. Then you get choose a heritage, which is your ancestry and your community. There's possibly 30 heritages to choose from. Then we've got the traits. The traits right now are agility, strength, precision, intuition, presence, and knowledge. You've got a certain amount of points that you can divide amongst them. We've got your starting weapon and armor. Your starting inventory. We've got your hit points and hope. Remember, this game has the hope and dread, I think it is, mechanic, or hope and fear mechanic. You roll the 2 12s. One is the hope dice, one is the fear dice. I don't think that's right, but that's it. And if the hope dice is higher than the fear dice, then you're rolling with hope. And if the fear dice is higher than the hope dice, then you're rolling with fear, and that affects the results. If your fear is higher than your hope, then you get like a success with bad complications or something like that. Well, yeah, that sounds familiar. Then you write down your name and pronoun. Okay, if you're going to do the pronouns, you need to put the list of the 700 different pronouns that are available, because there's way more pronouns available than the 6 we've been told we have to use. No, there's like 70 pronouns, right? Other than he, she, it, they, them, and apparently according to this, you could use it. So could my pronoun now be it? Mike, what's your pronoun? It. What about the other pronouns that have nothing to do with people, like full and empty? And can my pronoun be shiny? What about medieval pronouns like thou? Then you write down your questions about your description. You answer 3 background questions. You create your connections with the other players in the world around you. The play it forward. Don't tell me your backstory. Tell me your forward story. What are your connections? You walk into the bar. You see the barkeep. What's his name? Susan. Susan goes, oh, his name is Fildergast. And then you go, Susan, how does your character know Fildergast? And Susan tells you how they know Fildergast. And you go, okay, so yeah, that kind of thing. I've always been a fan of that. And we've got combat. Characters can take the following actions: sneak, locate, dodge, attack, sprint, track, navigate, swim, blah, blah, deceive, scare, protect, leap, track, damage terrain. We don't know what this is. We've got distance rules, order of combat. Apparently, they're saying that right now it looks like either the game master chooses who goes first. When am I not going to choose that my bad guys go first? We know that it uses a 2d12 dice. Apparently got rules for criticals. Apparently it's got rules for advantage and disadvantage. We know that it's got the hope and dread rules. Apparently there's also combat traits, some armor, weapon, casting spells, health and death. And we've got a stress rules and we've got the death rules. I like the death rules of this game, especially with the it is hope and fear. I thought it was. Just the randomness. You could choose when your character dies to get that blaze of glory, automatic critical success. You can choose to have the character live but be heavily scarred and lose a point of hope, I guess. Should you ever reach 0 hope, unless there's a rules for regaining maximum hope. Something awful happens to your character when you reach 0 hope, like maybe you become some sort of like corrupt undead. And then we have the random one where you just leave the fate up to the DM. Roll 2d12 and I don't know what happens, you tell me. And then we've got some rules of adventuring, interacting with NPCs. Of course, that's going to be a heavy thing because it's a critical role. And then we have the references, which apparently just seems to be somebody copied the characters from the play test they had at the convention. You have any news? No. Just links to videos other people have done. Hey, where's the link to my video? I've done a video about Daggerheart every week now, dude. Since before Gen Con. Link mine. Link mine. Where's mine? Link mine. Huh? Yeah. Huh. So there we go. This is the what we know about Daggerheart as of today. We finally have a webpage, which seems to have taken all the information from the various convention interviews and all the information from the pictures and sort of cobbled together. This is what I think it does. So this does not appear to be officially linked to them yet. You know what we should do? We should do what we're doing every week and go to the Darrington Press website, go to the Contact Us, go to the Media and Press, put our names, and then ask them, is the information on the Daggerheart website up to date and correct? Of course, our weekly question that they still haven't sent me an answer to. What are your plans for the Illuminated World Core Rules? OGGM. You think they're going to answer? They haven't answered any of the previous times, so who knows? If you haven't had a chance to go to this webpage yet, check it out. As far as I know, I'm the first person to discover it and go over it. So yay me. Are we still excited about Daggerheart? Do we still think it's our number one contender to take the throne from 6E, especially with the Matt Colville coming up? And now the announcement that Greg Gillespie is doing one. And of course, we still got Tales from the Valiant and my people's champion, the one that I think should win, but probably won't, level up 5e. That's my Chad Gable of the D&D clones that are going into 2024. Not that you know who Chad Gable is, but yeah, it just depends when it comes out and how they advertise it. Everything depends on how they advertise it and how they manipulate the Critical Role fan base to convince them to leave that 5e loyalty, assuming they are abandoning 5e in 2024, which at this point, I still do not see any reason why they should stay loyal other than merchandising. The only thing Hasbro offers them that they cannot do themselves right now, and Amazon doesn't offer them, is that merchandising. Those Critical Role action figures, those Critical Role Monopoly, Critical Role Clue. You know, that's huge, big money right there. Those action figures. So that's the thing that right now Amazon can't offer them. And while there are statues and action figures being made, they're very high priced and they're very small things. They're, Etsy individual creators. They don't have that Hasbro engine just churning out Critical Role Campaign 1, Campaign 2, Campaign 3 play sets, right? Or Legos. So yeah, that's pretty much the only thing Hasbro can offer them that they're not getting right now between themselves and Amazon is, Critical Role Monopoly. Who wants to see Critical Role Monopoly? That's it. That's all the news we have on Daggerheart this week. Welcome to another episode of Daggerheart Beats. Thank you again to the lovely subscriber who gave me the idea of the name. I can't remember who you are, so please, if you see this, remind me so I can give you credit next time. Tune in next Thursday for more Daggerheart Beats. Anybody else see this page before me? Am I the first? I think I am. See you later. Remember to subscribe. Daggerheart Beats. Beep, beep.